Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, Mike Pence has announced that he is suspending his run for the presidency after much deliberation and lots of prayer. And probably a glance at his campaign war chest, which had $1.2 million in the bank and over $600,000 of debt to pay off. So yes, he still has some money left, but by the time you're done paying everything off, hopefully, from his point of view, he won't be in debt. And he's not wealthy enough to loan himself a bunch of money to pay back through campaign finance stuff. Like George Santos. Okay. He was trying really hard to make it to the Iowa caucus because Iowa, from this article I'm reading on Yahoo, it's an AP article. Basically, Iowa has supported evangelical-like candidates in the past, like Mike Huckabee and such. So he was hoping that he could, get Iowa, get those delegates, and then catapult that into more fundraising and really launch his campaign. But Trump's got Iowa locked down, and Pence is not going anywhere. So he decided to hang it up. The other part was because of Pence's certifying the election and stuff that he said, like 60% of the Republicans or MAGA don't have a favorable opinion of him. So, duh! Dude, you could have called me. I could have told you all this. In the end of the day, I haven't even started the read. Mike Pence, the best thing you ever did for this country was certify the election. Talk about doing the minimum, but at least you didn't betray the Constitution. You called around to see if you could, but you didn't do it in the end. You could have ridden that wave of being a patriot and upholding the Constitution. Yeah, you wouldn't have been the president, but you could have 25th Amendment Donald Trump, and you would have been president for like 2 weeks. You wouldn't have done anything, but you'd be in the history books as the president. You didn't go that route, and then you tried to waffle, walk that razor's edge and just be a waffle. And this is what you get. You get none of the benefits. You get none of the. You don't get the kudos. You don't get to be known in the history books as this great patriot. You just get to be known as the vice president who wouldn't betray the country. That's about as big a byline as you have. What a wasted opportunity because you wanted to be president. You had your opportunity. You missed it. Perhaps you should have prayed to God more. You know what it was? It's not your praying to God. It's you prayed to God and you wanted it the way you wanted it as opposed to the way God was willing to give it to you. You wanted to be president. God was willing to give it to you. And you didn't take it because it wasn't how you envisioned it. It's a lesson for all of us, actually. Especially me, because I'm kind of that way, too. But, you had your chance. You walked away from it, and now you're confused why it didn't reappear. Energy around Mike Pence's campaign. Yep, ran out of money. I've got no monies. I need monies. And, I'm hemorrhaging cash fast, and I need to make a decision. Yeah, and then I had to make a big decision here. Do I keep going? I think in the end of the day, I just don't have the money. Let's suspend this. Yep, and there's the end. Okay, don't need to do any more runs. We'll call this a quickie. A quickie with Mike Pence. Sorry for anybody who was taking a sip of coffee with that one. I'm such a jerk. Oh dear. So many swords in the past 9 of Swords. I don't think he couldn't understand why his campaign wasn't taking off. And he's up nights trying to think of ways that he could get to where he wanted to be. But dude, nobody's throwing money at lukewarm oatmeal with no raisins or sugar in it. You're bland. You don't have a message. You're not appealing. Sorry. So it's good Lord. Thank you. I have to thank Spirit sometimes. Sometimes really This is like, the play school tarot reading. David, let's make it really, really simple on you. And I do appreciate that. So he's walking away. He's walking away. Campaign's over. His political career is done. This guy's career is done. I don't know he might work for a PAC or something else like that, but he's got no money and he's got no influence. I can't imagine speaking tours are taking him. Victory? Look at me. In the end of the day, I suppose he could be proud of himself that, no, he was a vice president of the United States, and not many people in history can say that. He left his mark in that he wouldn't betray the Constitution. So on these things, he should celebrate. And honestly, I think what this walking away is going to allow him to do is go to the next phase of his life, whatever that phase is supposed to be. He's not supposed to be president. Or he's not supposed to be a 4-year president. He could have been a 2-week president, but not a 4-year president. The Hierophant, government positions, walking away. I was just saying, I think his political career is dead. Maybe he finds something. When you've been the vice president of the United States, do you really want to be the mayor of your town? Do you want to be a state legislator somewhere? I mean, governor, vice president, it's only the president. You're done. People looked at him. They didn't like it. I can't even imagine that, like CNN would want him as a guest contributor. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Yeah, time to move on with your life. Move on to the next thing. Whatever that next thing is. Because your political career is over. I can't even see him being like a television evangelical, evangelist? Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. He had a radio show, which I don't know if that really did well or not. I think he'll try and be like an advocate for things. That could be if he has his own PAC. But, I mean, again, his greatest strength is that he's a former vice president. But a former vice president of really no consequence. Trump just sucked the air out of the room. Mike Pence was just, I wouldn't even call him decoration, man. He went in and broke ties in the Senate so that we can have horrible Supreme Court justices and horrible laws enacted. Mike Pence, whatever he should do, he should go talk to Jimmy Carter. If Mike Pence wants a victory in this world, he needs to get his butt over and talk with Jimmy Carter a lot before Mr. Carter goes away. And start living his life like Jimmy Carter. That will save himself. He can spend the last third of his life, I wouldn't say half, last third of his life trying to be like Jimmy Carter. And then maybe, just maybe, he could call this lifetime a victory as far as being a service to others. Do you want to know my real opinion on things? Maybe you should ask. I'm so shy about giving these things. What you get here is pretty damn close to what you get in real life with me. I might be a little more animated on this. And usually you have to get to know me better before I get a little animated on this. I actually can be kind of quiet in new situations because my sense of humor is such that I could really trample over people. So I need to make sure that it's safe and they understand who I am before I really cut loose. But what you see is what you get. And my wife is just like me. We're pretty damn close. Okay. What was I going to say? Let's get about What's Mike Pence's lesson to learn from all that? Oh no, I want to find out what's next for Mike Pence, right? Don't we all want to know? Don't we all want to know what's next for Mike Pence? God, I'm awake at nights wondering these things. I have cards flying out. I think that was the top card. Justice. We'll give them both. What's next for Mike Pence? Your ass is going to be testifying. That's what's next for Mike Pence. And then I had this card was upside down, but I don't really do reversals. And then you're going to go away. Might be into hiding. I don't think you'll be able to go in the witness protection program. I think the next thing that he's going to have going on is he's going to be testifying in court against Donald Trump and everything that was going on in the Trump administration. And maybe this would be part of his last bits of television legacy and relevancy, is to discuss what was going on in the Trump White House. And after the interest in the Trump White House goes away, he's going away too. I don't mean dying. I just mean he disappears and we never hear from him again. Yep, he's going to talk about Trump. He's going to talk about the money. He's going to talk about everything that was going on. Again, the money, where the money was coming in, the grifting, trying to... I don't think he'll talk too much about Trump's health. That might be... He might talk a little bit about Trump and COVID. And... maybe some of the disturbing things Trump said, but it's going to be mostly about the corruption that he saw in there and the election denial. Yeah, notice all the coins. It's all about money. It's all about the grifting and the election denial. He's going to testify about this sort of stuff. And he'll do it out of a love of country, and he'll probably get, he'll get a little paycheck for that one as well. Because, he can write another book. He can go on the media circuit. He'll probably be able to do some lectures and stuff like that. So that's going to be like a 4-year plan, 3 or 4 years of Mike Pence being relevant, and then he goes away. That's what's next. So Pence still has a role to play. And in some ways, it's to explain what's going on. It won't make a difference to the MAGA folks. It might make a difference to the evangelicals, because he's one of them. And he's going to have to talk about that imperfect vessel BS that they threw out there and basically say, yeah, that's real nice and everything, but that's not who he was. So... as much as want to slam on Mike Pence, he still has a role to play, and it's an important role, because it's to get that message to the evangelicals and break that group off from the MAGA Republicans. What they end up doing or who they end up aligning with politically, that's on them, but it's to break the MAGA Republicans and really get the MAGA Republicans down to a core group of really unhappy people that want this country to be an authoritarian government that punishes everybody who's not them. Okay? So, love him or hate him, he's got a role to play. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it insightful. I found it insightful. I had no idea that it was going to take a turn that way, especially at the end. But, whatever. He's got mother. He can retire and he's got mother. Life is good. Where was I? Oh, yes. Thank you for supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your likes and shares and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm beast so that it, and surely not, can get my video out to newer viewers. And to those new viewers, hey, welcome to the channel. Hope you found this reading insightful, mildly humorous, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.